Espinosa, VP of Just Wish Foundation. Now, for all of you shoe lovers out there, listen up. What do you think about wearing the best kicks that are made for a good cause? Well, one man has created the world's first nonprofit shoe design company. Let's get to know Edward Bogard and his organization, SoGiv. Hello, Edward.
Hey, Henny, how are you?
Good. Edward, let's talk about your passions, okay? Let's first talk about your passion for art. How did you discover that you had this talent and how did you develop it? I understand your father was your main influence.
He was. In fact, my father was a tremendous artist. I would have him draw my favorite superheroes, everyone from Batman to the Flash to Superman. By far, my favorite was him drawing, Superman. He would literally draw Clark Kent running and changing into Superman. It was the best. So I was just infatuated with his talent. And then I went on to elementary school, and my first grade elementary school art teacher, Mrs. Larrick, would pull me out of class, and she discovered I had a gift, and I would win numerous art contests. My biggest by far was the Macy's Thanksgiving Day sales art contest that I won. My turkey appeared on the cover of the Black Friday sales paper. I won, something like 6 Brotherhood Sisterhood art contests in a row, 6 years from first grade through the 6th. So I had a pretty decorated elementary art career for sure. But yeah, definitely my father was the biggest influence. And then once I got more into footwear design, I started studying Tinker Hatfield, who was the designer of all of the iconic Air Jordans. And by that time, I was creating my own version, the Air Bogards. I was converting Air Jordans into the Air Bogards. And I'd have a classroom full of students hovering over me, waiting on my latest, shoe design, and I autograph it and give it away at the end of class. So it was a lot of fun discovering the talent, for sure.
So you always had that passion for art and sneakers, which
Absolutely.
would eventually become your fave,
Yes,
right?
that's
With
right.
SoGiv.
Right.
Now let's talk about your other passion, which is giving back, which is philanthropy. Now this time your mother inspired your spirit to give. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So my mom was definitely the philanthropist in the family, without a doubt. She was a school teacher. And you know what? She had a pretty decorated career as well. So, she was, awarded numerous proclamations, and ultimately when she retired, Keys to the City, recognizing her efforts of just going above and beyond, of being an outstanding school teacher. What she would do, Henny, was take a lot of my shoes and clothes and give them to the kids who were struggling in the area that she taught. Here back in Memphis, Orange Mound is a very poverty-stricken area where the average household income is less than 10 grand a year. So that's where she taught. She wanted to be, in that area specifically, so that she could make an impact with my father's artistic abilities and my mom's philanthropic abilities, ultimately birthing this little thing called SoGiv. And the SoGiv acronym is actually derived from our slogan, every pair sold we give. So taking the SO out of sold and the GIV out of give. So yeah, that's how we got here.
It's so awesome that your parents really have, shown you values in life through example. They just lived it, and you've witnessed it since you were young, and
Absolutely.
And that developed in you also that spirit of giving back, using your
for
talents to give back.
That's
great.
That's great. I was blessed to be able to merge the two, for sure. Absolutely.
So let's talk about kind of furthering your career in art. You actually went to one of the most prestigious art and design schools in the country. And I understand it was your dream to work for some of the biggest shoe companies in the world. Now, how did that go for you?
I received a portfolio scholarship to attend SCAD, the Savannah College of Art and Design. Most recently, I was asked to be a part of the very first student alumni showcase, highlighting students' work from all over the world, coming up here in a few months at SCAD. So I'll be making my return here soon to SCAD. But it was a great place to study and earn my BFA in product industrial design. I love Savannah. It's a great place.
Let's talk about after college, when you were applying, for work with the biggest shoe companies. Was that easy for you, or did it kind of redirect you to the path that you're supposed to have, which is SoGiv.
Yeah, totally. I mean, so yeah, I got a bunch of no's quite naturally. In life, you're always going to get more no's than you are yeses, right? So yeah, some of those shoe companies that I desired to work for just weren't hiring me. So that really inspired me to birth my own shoe company. All of the rejections and no's that I received from, some of my favorites, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about without name dropping. But I didn't become a shoe designer for them. So that was so inspiring for me to go out and start my own shoe company, without a doubt.
Let's talk about SoGiv. For every soul you give, right? How are you able to help charitable causes by designing these limited edition shoes?
Sure. So SoGiv, I birthed SoGiv just to do what you just said. I create these limited edition one-offs, awareness shoes that I create to raise the awareness for the partner organizations that we partner with at SoGiv to heighten their visibility. It then becomes a conversation starter. So when you're out walking and you see someone with these very vibrant shoes, they're very, they're attention grabbers for sure, and conversation starters, definitely conversation starters. So, and from that, 100% of the proceeds directly benefits the missions of the partner organizations that we partner with. So today we provided just over 13,000 meals through the SoGiv Hunger Awareness shoe that I created for the food bank here in Memphis, the Mid-South Food Bank. Feeding America is the umbrella of all the food banks, of course. But we've been blessed to do some tremendous things. Just to name, not to. You know it. So I don't know. Yeah.
So let's talk about kind of your major partnerships. You mentioned Food Bank,
sure.
Salvation Army. Are there notable figures we need to know of that you partner with that have?
Steven Tyler's kind of a big deal.
He is a big deal.
Yeah, he's kind of a big deal. So
that's great. So how did tell us about that partnership?
Yeah, for sure. So Steven Tyler's organization, we were blessed to partner with Janie's Fun, inspired by one of his biggest hits, Janie's Got a Gun. But he formed this great nonprofit that is basically raising awareness towards abused girls. So I created this amazing shoe design that featured like a silhouette of Steven's microphone, and he's known for wrapping his scarves around the microphone. And every pair included a SoGiv Sharpie. And with the Sharpie and the shoebox, you would write on the side of the shoe who you were walking for. So that, and just really inspirational messages, on the shoe. So it really was a movement within its own, for sure, definitely. And it did a lot of good for sure.
That's awesome. Tell us about your volunteers now, and how you've engaged young people in Memphis to where you're based to help you with your causes.
Yeah, sure. So I started this thing called SoGiv Design Charrette. And it's basically about 5 years or so ago, and it's basically a design intensive. It's a 3-day design intensive where I engage inner city students in footwear design, basically introducing them into something that they're, very passionate about, but don't necessarily know how to tap into. I wish someone would have done that for me when I was, young, but I go into these, communities and teach kids, about shoe designs from conceptualization stages to the ideation process, sketching, problem solving, like identifying a cause, right, that is near and dear to their heart per se, or a family member. And then they create their own SoGiv awareness shoe from there. And they're part of the entire process. The marketing, promo, it's really, really a powerful initiative. I've written several, letters to colleges, letters of recommendations to colleges for the students, because it was life-changing for them and so inspiring. And they tap into things like, public speaking and marketing, and not all of them are shoe designers, but the design intensive teaches them how to work well with others. So they're focus groups of 5. And within those focus groups, you'll have your public speaker, your marketing person, your artist, and ultimately they problem solve through creating their own SoGiv awareness shoe. And then we have a panel of judges, and we choose the winning team's design over the 3-day period. It's like top 100 to 20 to 5, right? And the winning team shoe design gets manufactured and produced.
That's great. You're developing the future leaders in our community.
I've coined this philanthropic designer. So I'm a philanthropic designer, but I'm birthing future philanthropic designers.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So not only are you a philanthropic designer, you're also a restaurateur with a heart. Now tell us about your big project to open a restaurant that gives back to the community.
Absolutely. So Bogard is the name of the restaurant. The acronym for Bogard is Buy One, Give Another, Rare Dish. So every time you sit down and dine with us at Bogard, we're going to give a meal away to someone in need in partnership with the food bank. So literally a continuation of what I started with SoGiv and eradicating hunger through shoes, but now eradicating hunger through restaurant. So
great.
That's
everything's kind of aligned for you now. All your projects, all your goals. So how do you plan to expand SoGiv beyond Memphis?
You know what? It's already happening, Henny. That's the great part. We're making an impact right now out in Romania in partnership with the Salvation Army.
Wow.
Our shoes are making an impact out there, providing meals and shelter and clothing and counseling, and they've been featured in front of the parliament, which is one of the largest buildings in the world in Romania. The captains are posing in the SoGiv Salvation Army awareness shoes out there. So we're doing it. In future, moving forward, the goal is to have SoGiv, chapters in all 7 continents, because our signature mark on the SoGiv shoe is the 7 continents, and that's our right. So it's right there, and it's featured on all of our shoes, and that's basically symbolic of the entire world racing towards what we all believe is a finish line. And that finish line being cures for various diseases, eradicating homelessness, hunger, everything that we support at SoGiv.
That's great, Edward. I'm so excited for you and for SoGiv. So Just Wish Foundation and its founder, Mr. Jack Wu, are so inspired by how you've used your creativity and talents to give back to those in need. We're also inspired by how you've brought together individuals and organizations for the greater good. And that is why we would like to express our support to SoGiv through a monetary donation. So keep doing good in the community, Edward, and we really hope for your continued success.
Well, thank you to Mr. Jack Wu and you, Henny. Thank you so much for the donation. Greatly, greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Edward. More power to you.
Thank you.